Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so so it's official. High command cannot be.
High command of any department cannot be on the council. I want to caution you because it sounded like you were saying there you didn't have a pattern of them like attacking each other or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the pattern does not need to be association and participation in felonious activity related to gang-related conflict. The pattern just needs to be felonious activity.
Crime together.
So that
right.
could be like, you know, they robbed the laundromat together, or they, you know, deal drugs together, right? It says criminal street gang is defined as an ongoing group, club, or organization which has a primary purpose of the commission of criminal offenses, or the members of which over the last 30 days have engaged in a continuing or ongoing series of felony offenses. So really the idea here is that you should, if you have people that are being found constantly arrested together, you'd be going into court and saying, hey, look, the reason why we know these guys are a group is because of this. We've seen them get arrested robbing the laundromat together, the cash exchange, when they, you know, when we were chasing this car from a suspicious financial activity call, the same people are arrested obstructing. This is a pattern of them engaging in felonies together, right? And then so it's like we had this group of people who we know roughly commit felonies together. And then we had this other group of people who we know roughly commit felonies together, and they got in a big gunfight. So that should be sort of your roadmap for gang-related shooting.
That's fair. So based on, we've dealt with one of these, and it was yesterday. It was the first one we've dealt with. And Pinzon might actually have a little bit more context on this, but the, I think the primary issue we dealt with yesterday was that this was one group at one point. Would it still fall under gang-related?
I don't know. That's unique. Maybe that one you don't have enough yet. What I'm just referring to is, I don't think I've really seen it ever.
I gotcha. Okay.
And I know for a fact from reading incident reports that there's been some gang conflicts that y'all are pretty confident you know who the groups are.
Mm-hmm.
We have tried to push it before. We went to bench trial trying to push it previously. Pinzon, I believe,
Yeah.
you know about this as
Sorry,
well.
I just
It was
came
the
in.
Saints and I don't remember who.
Saints and not Hydra.
So basically what I was telling Flop as you were walking in
Yeah.
is if you really are careful about how you read gang-related shooting, and it'll be constantly evolving. It's never going to be perfect, right? There's going to be new people coming in and out of groups. There's going to be new people you can't prove anything on.
Yeah.
You know, 5 or 6 years ago, we were, you know, 1 or 2 years deep on establishing investigations into gangs, and there's still people every day that would pop up who, you know, you never heard of, or, you know, were wearing green, but, you know, didn't call themselves GSF yet, or, you know, vice versa with Ballas or whatever, right? The other thing, Pinzon and Flop took some notes, so I won't belabor the point. There are a lot of charges that have been redistributed in terms of times and fines, as well as, you know, just overall, sort of an adjustment on the penal code. It's been in progress for the last month or so. So some of them may not be very apparent. Some of them might be pretty small adjustments. Some of them might be large ones. You'll just get a feel for it as you sort of go through the charges and review them. Said there is one charge that PD really needs to know about, and that is we have split out the possession of government issued equipment. So now there is a criminal possession of government issued equipment, which is kind of for the rinky-dink shit. So like taser cartridges, taser darts, IFAKs, PD watch, compass, flashlight, radio, GoPixel, binoculars, scuba, DNA swabs, PD badge, PD barriers, and tourniquets. And then the other one is now called criminal possession of government issued dangerous and or combat purposed equipment. So this is a much heftier charge. For example, the drinky one is like 15 months, 3 grand. This one's like 15 months, 40 grand. And the government issued and or combat purposed equipment is related to your like Glock magazines and ammo, armor vests, armor plates, and spike strips. Now, with the high fine on this, we're not trying to have you guys stack these. So if someone gets thrown a PD Glock, you're obviously not charging them separately for like the magazines and, you know, the ammo. Use your brains, right?
Yeah.
The guy has a PD armor vest and 6 plates. Don't charge them independently for each plate, right?
Of course.
Just hit them with the charge, right? If they got spike strips, you know, hit them with the charge, right? Just, you know, once, just be conscious about using this correctly.
Who wants to rob me?
The taser itself is included in the regular charge.
It's a government issued taser / baton. that has a slightly higher time and sort of a middling fine. Tasers and batons are roughly equivalent to things that are available.
So just to make sure, is if someone has a gun and then has armor, that's is that
okay? If it's a gun and armor, those are two separate charges.
Okay, just
but
that's
if you have a gun and then magazines, you shouldn't be stacking that.
Yeah, because that falls into firearm.
Because it's just the gun, right?
Yeah, okay.
Just because you have the extra magazines doesn't make
holy
it separate.
150 KBCO armor and gun
doesn't make it separate. Just it's common sense, right? If someone has a PD Glock, we're not hitting him with the equipment charge because they have a couple extra magazines with the Glock.
Question.
But if they have a PD Glock and then they also have a PD armor vest, those are two separate charges.
Okay, question. And want to ask, what about armor plates? Are they considered illegal, not illegal? Because I remember hearing about this.
I am talking to the folks from the armory, a way that we can track that being issued from the armory. Because the way the charge is stated is that it has to be provable that the only place to get them is from the armory. Yeah. And so right now I'm not sure that's achievable if they didn't have the vest with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is being discussed and worked on.
Yeah, probably will anyways.
Well, and you know, we've seen a heightened amount of cop shootings. So there's been some redistribution there. So, you know, we'll see what the deterrent effect is and we'll move on, you know. It's ever evolving. So if y'all feel that there are things that are especially active or especially, you know, prolific, you know, then you should bring that to your PD liaison and say, hey, look, I go on duty if this and this happens. These are the biggest things I see. People are willing to die to get away from doing this crime. They're willing to die to secure this, you know, loot or whatever. This is something that really needs to be looked at, right? You know, what are you guys getting shot over? What's you know, what's like the high target? What are the high value robberies? What are people going to war over? You know, is it, you know, turf for selling drugs? Is it distribution of you know, firearms? You know, what is it, right? And then run that up the chain to us, and then we can actually, you know, implement sort of reactive procedures to what's going on around us.
Would a turbo fall into that $3,125 fine one? Oh no, it's not government.
No, that's the larceny of aftermarket motor vehicle equipment. There's a specific charge for that. Okay. Cornwood and some others have pushed. He can bring them to Orshi. If Cornwood does win sheriff, obviously he would no longer be liaison, as high command cannot serve on the council.
Oh. So would there be another election for PD liaison?
If Cornwood is to become high command, then yes, there would be a special election.
Oh, look
okay.
At that.
Yeah.
Wait, so so it's official. High command cannot be.
High command of any department cannot be on the council. So, for example, right now the way we have it set up, if you run for head of bar as a judge, you cannot remain a judge. You must demote yourself to attorney to be able to serve as head of bar.
Damn.
Just hit them with the charge, right? They got spike strips, you know, hit
them
with the charge, right? Just, you know, once, just be conscious about using this correctly.
Who wants to rob me?
The taser itself